Привет, и снова в студии я,
Hello,
Владимир.
that's me again. Vladimir has left me, but I'm not alone here. I'm together with Dmitry Serebryannikov. Dima, hello. Hi. And Alexei Novikov. Hello, Alexei. Haven't seen you for quite a while. Hi, guys. We've been talking to offenders. We've been talking to defenders. We went around the replica of the city and we did anything with the model, whatever we could do. Right now we're going to talk to those who invented those tasks, who followed the quality of their execution. Because the previous commands in the team were complaining about reporting that it was difficult to submit it. And this is what I would like to speak about. Dima, I do know that you have invented the tasks. What tasks? Out of which space have you collected them? We've made tasks for the standoff range that attackers had to overcome in order to get to the risks inside of the infrastructure. Everything that attackers have seen, real systems that we often meet while working in pen testing. So these are real systems that you can meet in real life. And on the basis of what we see, this is what we have deployed in order to bring it closer to reality. Well, what problems were the coolest one? Well, we had a lot of web applications. The coolest ones were, we think, one set of soft problems coolest for us, but attackers liked something simpler that they could break and get hold of. That's what I would like to learn about. Are there problems that your favorite ones, and they didn't work? We've invested our soul into all the problems, and if you will look right now, practically everything out of what was realized by us was broken by the attackers. We haven't expected this, because from year to year we have this standoff competition, and there's many vectors which are not covered. Many machines have not been broken, but you know, we have a lot of people involved who do these virtual machines with tasks, with problems, and they say, well, I've tried, I've made this virtual machine, but nobody have broken. This year almost everything was broken, so we are happy, everybody's happy that we didn't do this work in vain. Dima, maybe they were too simple. Oh, no, 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 no. We didn't do simple problems. But right now the indicator of professionalism of attackers has grown significantly compared to the previous year. We were positively surprised because attackers act more carefully. They were hiding, and obfuscation was on a higher level, and the level of vulnerabilities was very high, and attackers were able to break them, and they broke everything. Is there anything they didn't find, a vulnerability that was predefined, and you thought that it's going to be the first one to be found, but it never was found? Everything that we thought to be the first, it was the first. Honestly, you know, we have to analyze everything, of course, because practically everything was broken. Almost everything was realized. Of course, we will analyze, we will look at everything. We will look at things that were not realized, maybe we'll change them and use them for the next year. Maybe attackers will improve their level and will be able to fulfill those objectives as well. Was there anything that seemed very interesting in the actions of hackers? Something unusual, maybe funny? What was really interesting, we thought that attackers have found more vectors which we didn't even put inside. But they were found, and you know, machines, and you know, people were fighting for them. And there were stories when attackers have closed vulnerabilities, and by these they have opened, without knowing this, several other critical vulnerabilities, and instead of closing them, they've opened a passage for other teams. Well, Now I go to Alexei. Can you tell me, please, everything that Dima was saying right now, have you often seen things like that in real life? No, in your SOC today. Are these single cases? No, these are not single cases. We did have several teams which have been closing those doors through which they have entered. And sometimes they have closed them very improperly, and some teams have did their job on such a high quality level in the infrastructure, they've patched it, that some blue teams have to learn from them on how to protect their systems. Can we call the names? Wait, these are awful numbers. We can call those names. Okay, Dima, can you tell me, please, do you agree or you disagree with that top that we have? Well, I understand that number-wise you cannot disagree about distribution of places. We've been reading reports, and thanks to the teams, because this year reports were even of higher quality than last year. Maybe in the beginning we've been saying, okay, please attach screenshots and something else, but finally teams have understood the format, and reports was, and some of them sent PDF files. So it surprised us from this point of view. So we think that it was properly distributed. You're speaking about the business risk reports. Yes, business risks and back bounty as well. Dima, most importantly, so that next year they would continue sending those PDFs clean, not charged with anything else. Or we don't know something. What do you mean charged PDF? A couple of Excel files. We did doubt in the beginning. So they wanted to penetrate into your computers. I hope no. It was just artificial, because of the bad habits they had. And, he's been preparing 50 letters, and the 51st one was really unsuccessful charged letter. And how did you behave when you have received a letter like this? Of course, we have analyzed it and don't accept the report. No, we've looked at the main thing, of course. So you didn't punish things like that, not yet, but you gave a good idea. I don't give bad ideas. Dima, 30 times I've been asking Alex, what about his guys who are not sleeping? What about your guys? They are sleeping already, right? Yes, they do. So all 6 days you were not sleeping? Of course. We've been working in shifts. We didn't leave reports unattended because we've been moving both in the day and in the night, and sometimes in the night even better than during the day. And when during the first day more than 100 reports came to us, when we thought that, well, in the night it will be much easier. But no, it was not easier. Reports were coming to us with such frequency as during the day. So we have distributed our efforts properly because we've made shift operation. And how many people did you have on the shift? 4 people. 4 people. Good. Can you tell me, please, both of you, can you tell me, please? I had a good question in my head, and while you've been speaking, I forgot about it. Look in your mobile phone. No, it was not in my mobile phone, it was in my head. Can you tell me, please, who... Dima, it's not a question to you, it's a general question. I will make it up. First, finally, have you collected your thoughts? Yeah, I want to sleep. Okay, let's speak about techniques and tactics. Which of them were the most effective ones? The most effective ones, and give me the names. I don't remember the names, there were so many of them. Okay. Let's see. Everything depends on how can we evaluate the efficiency of techniques and tactics. I'm speaking about effect. You're speaking about efficiency, and I'm speaking about effect. Efficacy. Well, efficacy is a very subjective thing. Dima is going to kill us right now. Well, once again, I would like to repeat myself. I really liked those tools that we didn't see previously. Tools that were specifically created by the guys, and looks like guys use them in their daily operations. This is something that I like, and it always drives. And they've been boasting today. They said that we picked up from the neighbors. Well, good job. Good PT groups, they do the same. They break somebody. For example, they're available, and they say, okay, let's take their tools and equip ourselves with it. And a piece of humor that guys have shared, this is also cool. The names of the backdoors, they are in my top. What? I was discussing it with Vladimir. When defenders and attackers using vulnerabilities have created files and they gave them big names. Don't touch, please, this script. It's not going to do anything bad for you. And in the report, there was a message from Blue's team. So they've been writing to each other. And who's been talking to whom? Honestly, I don't remember. But on which object? Well, the most popular object was Nuft. That's where most of this happened. So with... I forgot who was defending oil and gas sector. I forgot the name. Dima, can you tell me, please? Did you find a lot of interesting tools while watching our cyber battle? We have not analyzed it as actively because the tools are seen by Losha's guys. Yes, we're packing them, we'll send them to you. We see only what comes to us as a complete solution. But how did he come to this solution, especially in the risk-related part? I hope Alexei is going to share these tools with you and he's going to tell you how did it work. Maybe we'll use some of them. Don't you want to invent problems for the future in tandem? Because most of the tasks were by Dima's team and you have not proposed anything. No, you don't want to do. We'll think about it. Dima, what do you think? Would it be cool? Yes, we have to try and see. Well, next time, Dima, we need to allow defenders to attack the attackers. Yeah, good idea. You couldn't? This time we couldn't. So, for example, they've entered to you and you think, you are so pink and fluffy, you just watch and monitor. But if you do something in return, or when the guys are searching for some confidential document flow and you can put special document, charged document. Yeah, you love charged documents. Yes, I love them. Okay, Dima, can you tell me, please, would you hire some of the offenders? There's a big team. I don't know, maybe some of these teams are really good guys, and you say, well, I'll follow them. Well, I could talk to first 3 of them. Send your resumes. First, send your resumes. And then write to me, I will tell you who should you talk to. And why did you like them so much? I like that they've realized risks, and we didn't expect that there will be so many risks realized, because we had 59 unique risks, and out of them 29 unique risks were realized. This is a lot for such a short time, half of them. Yes, and considering the fact that they didn't have a lot of time, and defenders were really active in counterfighting them, so it was a good level they showed. Why do you think some objects were not even tackled? Were they too complicated, or our favorite seaport? We've been begging them 6 days, please do something in the seaport. Nobody did anything. Well, I think first of all we need to ask attackers. Maybe they had a certain strategy or tactics, how to get more points. Some machines they got through to and they wanted to defend themselves and keep themselves inside of them without giving other teams to realize same risks, and maybe at the account of this they were able to win, not by covering everything, but by holding in a certain locations and not letting anybody else to get through. couple of words about defenders. Well, I've been asking about attackers, who Dima would hire out of the attackers. The same question to you. Are there anybody from defenders that you would use next time with you? I have another paradigm about defenders. Perhaps I would be happy if next time we would have 30 attackers and 30 defenders. Why? Because we want the number of defenders who get this experience, and those teams that we should have more people like that, because it's great experience. And just recently I was able to talk to 2 defending teams. What are their impressions? They all say that they've had a lot of things to learn. Many things have invented new processes, they have improved their tool sets, they pumped up technically and globally in order to have a higher level of defense in our companies, in real amusement parks and streetlights. Defenders, we should have more of those. So I would concentrate on, well, those guys who participate in this contest this year on the side of defenders. They should try to maximize their experience and proliferate it to masses. Inform people, teach people. If they will write public articles, at least at the harbor, how did it happen from their point of view? Yeah, they will sleep and they will write. I have a question. Don't you think that if we will increase number of defenders, 30 defenders, 30 attackers, these 30 defenders will not get such concentrated experience as R6? Well, they will get it. Second of all, I've been talking to one of the teams, and they are saying that we all have reinforced our care, and then we see that it's not interesting. Very little vectors of penetration, and they gave them some ease. Okay, let's say these 2 servers, let's give them to offenders and let them fight for it. Who were those defenders? They will say themselves, it's not interesting, it's the end of the game. That's okay. We need to have some intrigue even after the game. Okay, can you give me some specific case? Well, I understand this. Okay, take these 2 servers and, stick them in your throat. Well, that's number 1. Number 2, there was an interesting story about how they've been fighting and what was the speed of this fight. Well, I need numbers. I remember that bank defenders have been providing reports. In 45 minutes, they have been reacting. But what is that? Average speed was 10 hours and so many minutes. Why such a big difference? 10 something, 45 minutes on one side and 10 hours on the other side. Who destroyed the statistics? We will analyze it and then we'll see why some people were able to react in 40 minutes. There were simple incidents. No. There's a lot of factors involved, and it's hard to say definitely why they had such a big difference. But those who were able to do it in 45 minutes, it speaks about their qualification and speed. And the level of report quality is similar. Yeah, we wanted to follow the minimal quality level about the quality. Is there a team that you would like to commend for good quality reports? Can you give me at least one name? Bank defending team. Not even 45 minutes, but also mega quality of their reports. Fire. Now I understand why money were not stolen from our bank, right? Dima, could they steal them? In principle, basically. Of course they could. Do you know how? I do. Can you tell us what didn't they do? No, of course not. Because we can use it next time and see how does it work and what's going to be the progress of the attackers. And see whether they're watching us or not. No. We're not going to give up things which were not realized. Of course, don't tell about those things. Which plans do you have for the next event? We're not going to say when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. What should be expected from both of you? Dima, you should be the first one. Well, I would like to digest everything that was done by now. I would like to see how attackers behaved. I would like to see in which direction everything worked and didn't work. In some places, I should balance towards more complication. In some areas, maybe to increase the number of links in the chain to make it more interesting for the attackers. But generally speaking, I would like to have more objects in the city and to have higher surface of the attack. Then it's going to be much more interesting. What about the number of links in the chain? It was average statistically. How long was the chain? Well, it depends from risk to risk, different number of steps. In some places, one could do it in 4 or 5 steps, and in some other places, attackers have surprised us. When we'll look at them, we'll see what they've been doing in traffic, and somewhere we'll see that some were able to achieve it much faster. What about you? Which surprises? You gave me an idea, but active opposition, I think it was really cool. But you know, they will not let you to oppose actively. You just are going to follow. But I will be happy for my colleagues. Then I absolutely agree with Dima that we would like to have for the next event, we would like to see more facilities and higher diversity of the infrastructures in order to be able to experiment with higher number of techniques and tactics. Well, it's a dream, like tomographer. Yeah, we didn't have any hospitals. The city is healthy, and nobody have been touched by COVID. So stories like this would be interesting to anybody, both from the side of defenders and from the side of attackers. So that number of objects and diversity of the infrastructure would be as big as possible. Well, speaking about objects that you would like to see, do you have any dreams? I would like to see. Okay, I understand about tomography. What other objects we should see in our city in order to have everything wonderful? Honestly speaking, I've told to Mr. Nazarov that I would like to hijack the airplane, so it's supposed to fly and hit the skyscraper. Also, I was surprised today that, speaking about the oil spillage, not the oil spillage, but transportation accident doesn't have any EMERCOM coming to them, so they have an accident and nobody's coming. I would like to see helicopters flying to the emergency locations. What ideas do you have? Except for tomography scanner. Well, if they would give us a satellite, you mean the satellite flying above? Yeah, in outer space. What would you do with the satellite? And how long the signal will go? There are satellite providers of the internet. Catching, introduction into the channels, that would be very interesting. And there are specific threats that we could study. Intercept. I don't know how this interception should be visualized, not yet. But I would like to say that satellite. Well, you have not found it yet. Yeah, we have not found it yet. We were not able to. Okay, good. Will you somehow change your teams which participate in the event? Dima, maybe you will have a desire to invite your guys. Is it possible? Oh yeah, you will invent the problems and then you will attack them. This is a wrong idea. Okay, ask each other about something. Well, it's a great idea. We could try, Dima, we could make the competition of problems for the next step, Standoff. Yeah, for those, but those who give the problems, they don't participate in the Standoff. And who will submit those problems? Maybe SOCs will invent those problems and then they will look at how they will be broken by other guys. Well, it's an interesting idea, so that SOCs would be able to analyze those vectors which are interesting to them. and so that they would bring these vectors to us, look at them, because honestly speaking, out of those teams that participated with us, obviously we can look at the specifics of the industry they work in, and if they would present this initiative, they would bring the specifics to us, then they would acquire additional experience and verify different hypotheses. Until when we should be able to submit these problems. The earlier, the better. How much time usually it takes for physical realization? Because if I, as a SOC who decided to test something, if I submit a task or a problem to you or a vector, then you realize it in the model. How long does it take to realize it in the model? 6 months. They should bring it tomorrow. We will accept everything. And where should we bring it? Who should we give it to? Okay, wonderful. Please give them to me, your resumes. Please remember, bring them to me. The problems also, give them to me, non-charged, without any viruses inside of them. Otherwise, somebody's going to work on 24/7 mode. But I think it's going to be very cool. What about the duration? 6 days. Is it a lot or you need more? Because I thought that they didn't have enough time to do it in the course of 6 days. Maybe we need 2 days or maybe 1 month standoff, month-long standoff. Well, I would change the rules differently, but we will have to discuss it with other people. Dima, what do you think about that? I would give more time, but after the first risk realization, I would close it, so that others wouldn't repeat it. Yes, so they would, because they communicate with each other, they maybe share the data with each other. Yes? Well, have there been hints to each other? We didn't see similar reports, but because people can replace a couple of letters and vectors are vectors. And the most important thing, well, I'm speaking about something else. I'm not asking about comparing the reports. Comparing the reports, it's funny. But let's see. We have an event, we have opposition, and we cannot prohibit people to communicate with each other. Do you follow? Do they have their own internal chats, internal communication? Hey, dude, I've done this and this. Let me tell you. Everybody's competing. So they don't talk to each other. Well, no, they're not sharing information. Good, good. What about your socks? Have been knocking, please help us. Yeah, they communicate with each other. They do. Socks do communicate. Well, we have to build some global monitoring to monitor everything and put everybody under our wings. Okay, guys. We are talking plus 3 minutes to the time that was given to us, and right now I will be rebuked from above, and I will be told that we are outside of the timing. Thank you very much, Dima. I'm really glad to see you. I'm missing you. At least I've looked at you. Losha, thank you for being with us the 6 days, closing the gaps, closing the monitor with your back, answering my questions. And by the next time, I will get prepared. I will ask questions properly, smart questions. I will start preparing them right now. Okay. Please don't get disconnected. Don't leave. Our guests and our viewers, please don't get disconnected. Right now there will be a small break and video from us, and then a global final of the event. Notwithstanding the fact that CD doesn't work, but in 4 hours everybody got rested and we're ready to hear the details and make the final conclusions and press the red button and launch the concert. See you later.